Al-Qur'ān, Chapter 24, a surah that we have revealed and made obligatory, and in it we have sent down clear verses that you may remember. The adulteress and the adulterer, flog each one of them 100 lashes, and let not pity for them seize you in God's religion if you believe in God and the last day, and let a group of believers witness their punishment. The adulterer marries only an adulteress, or the one who associates partners with God, and the adulteress can only be married to an adulterer, or the one who associates partners with God, and it is forbidden to the believers. And those who accuse chaste women and then do not produce 4 witnesses, flog them with 80 lashes, and do not accept testimony from them ever, and those are the transgressors. Except for those who repent after that and make amends, for God is forgiving, merciful. And those who accuse their wives and have no witnesses except themselves, then they must testify 4 times, swearing by God that he is of the truthful ones, and the fifth that God cursed him if he is of the liars. And the punishment will be avoided for her if she bears 4 testimonies by God that he is of the liars. And the fifth is that God's wrath is upon her if he is of the truthful. And had it not been for God's grace and mercy upon you, and that God is for the repentant and is wise. Those who came up with the lie are a band among you. Do not think that it is bad for you. Rather, it is good for you. Each one of them shall have what he earned of sin, and he who took on the bulk of it from them shall have a grievous chastisement. Why, when you heard it, did the believing men and the women not think good of themselves and say, "This is a clear falsehood"? Why did they not bring 4 witnesses? Then, when they did not produce the witnesses, then those with God are the liars. And had it not been for God's grace upon you and his mercy in this world and the hereafter, a great chastisement would have touched you for what you indulged in. When you receive it with your tongues and say with your mouths that of which you have no knowledge, and you think it is insignificant, while it is with God great. And why, when you heard it, did you not say, "It is not for us to speak of this"? Glory be to you, this is a great slander. God admonishes you to never return to something like this if you are believers. God shows you the verses, and God is knowing, wise. Indeed, those who love that immorality spread amongst those who believe will have a painful punishment in this world and the hereafter, and God knows and you do not know. And had it not been for God's grace and mercy upon you, and that God is compassionate and merciful. O you who have believed, do not follow the footsteps of Satan, and whoever follows the footsteps of Satan, he commands indecency and wrongdoing. And had it not been for God's grace and mercy upon you, none of you would have ever been purified. But God purifies whom he wills, and God is hearing, knowing. And let not those among you of virtue and capacity fail to give to the near of kin, the needy, and the emigrants in the cause of God, and let them pardon and let them forgive. Do you not love that God forgives you, and God is forgiving, merciful? Indeed, those who slander chaste, heedless, believing women are cursed in this world and the hereafter, and they will have a grievous chastisement. On the day, their tongues, their hands, and their feet will testify against them of what they used to do. On that day, God will fulfill their true religion, and they will know that God is the clear truth. Evil women are for evil men, and evil men are for evil women. And good women are for good men, and good men are for good women. Those are innocent in what they say, for them is forgiveness and generous provision. O you who have believed, do not enter houses other than your own until you have asked permission and greeted those in them. That is better for you, so that you may be mindful. If you do not find anyone in it, then do not enter it until permission is given to you. And if you are told to go back, then go back. It is purer for you, and God is all knowing of what you do. There is no sin on you if you enter uninhabited houses in which you have belongings, and God knows what you reveal and what you conceal. Tell the believers to lower their gaze and guard their chastity. That is purer for them. God is acquainted with what they do. And tell the believing women to lower their gaze and guard their chastity and not display their adornment except what appears thereof, and to draw their veils over their bosoms, and not to display their adornment except to their husbands, or their fathers, or their husbands' fathers, or their sons, or their husbands' sons, or their brothers, or their brothers' sons, or their sister's son, or their women, or what their right hand possesses, or followers other than those of desire among men, or children who do not reveal the nakedness of women, and to not strike their feet, so that what they hide of their adornment may be known. And repent to God all, O believers, so that you may succeed. And marry the unmarried among you, and the righteous among your slaves and maidservants, if they are poor. God will enrich them from His bounty, and God is all encompassing, all knowing. And let those who cannot find marriage abstain until God enriches them from His bounty. And those who seek the contract from what your right hand possesses, write to them if you know good in them, and give them from the money of God which He has given you. And do not force your maidens to prostitution, if they desire chastity in order to seek the goods of worldly life, and if anyone forces them, then God, after their coercion, is forgiving, merciful. We have sent down clear verses to you, and examples from those who passed before you, and an admonition to the righteous. God is the light of the heavens and the earth. The parable of His light is as a niche in which is a lamp, the lamp in a glass, the glass, as it were, a shining star kindled from an oil from a blessed tree, neither of the east nor of the west, whose oil is luminous even if fire did not touch it. Light upon light, God guides to His light whom He wills, and God presents parables for people, and God is all knowing. In the houses of God's permission to be raised and His name to be mentioned in them, in which He is glorified in the mornings and the evenings, men whom neither commerce nor sale distracts from the remembrance of God and the establishment of prayer and the giving of alms, they fear a day when hearts and eyes will be overturned, that God may reward them for the best of what they have done and increase them of His bounty, and God provides for whomever He wills without measure. And those who disbelieve, their deeds are like a mirage in a desert, which the thirsty man thinks as water, until when he comes to it, he finds nothing, and he finds God with him, and he fulfills his account, and God is swift in reckoning. Or like darkness in a deep sea covered by a wave, above which are waves, above which are clouds, darkness one upon another. When He takes out His hand, he can hardly see it. And whoever does not make God a light for him, then he has no light. Have you not seen that God is glorified by whomever is in the heavens and the earth, and the birds are whispering? Each has known his prayer and his glorification, and God is all knowing of what they do. And to God is the kingdom of the heavens and the earth, and to God is the destiny. Have you not seen that God moves the clouds together, then joins them together, then makes them into piles? Then you see rain coming out through it, and descending from the sky, from mountains in which there is hail. Then it strikes whomever He wills, and turns it away from whomever He wills. The flash of His lightning almost takes away the sight. God turns the night and the day. Indeed, in that is a lesson for those with vision. And God created every animal out of water, so some of them walk on their stomachs, and some of them walk on 2 legs, and some of them walk on 4. God creates whatever He wills. Indeed, God has power over all things. We have sent down clear verses, and God guides whom He wills to a straight path. And they say, we believe in God and in the messenger, and we obey. Then a group of them turns away after that, and what are they among the believers? And when they are called to God and His messenger to judge between them, lo and behold, a party of them turns away. And if they have the right, they come to Him submissively. Is there a disease in their hearts, or are they suspicious, or are they afraid that God and His messenger will be unfair to them? Nay, those are the wrongdoers. The saying of the believers when they are called to God and His messenger to judge between them is that they say, "We hear and we obey." Those are the successful. And whoever obeys God and His messenger and fears God and is mindful of God, those are the winners. And they swear by God their strongest oaths. If I order them, they will surely go out. Say, do not swear a known obedience. Indeed, God is aware of what you do. Say, obey God and obey the messenger. If you turn away, then he is only responsible for what he is charged with, and you are responsible for what you are burdened with. And if you obey him, you will be rightly guided. And there is nothing on the messenger except for clear communication. God has promised those of you who have believed and done righteous deeds that He will certainly grant them succession in the land as He granted succession to those before them, and that He will surely establish for them their religion, which He has preferred for them, and that He will surely substitute security for them after their fear. They worship Me, not associating anything with Me. And establish prayer and pay the alms and obey the messenger that you may receive mercy. Do not think that the unbelievers have power on earth, and their abode is the fire, and what an evil destination. O you who have believed, let those of you who are possessed by right hands and those of you who have not reached puberty ask permission 3 times. Before the morning prayer, and when you put off your clothes at noon, and after the evening prayer. You have these 3 private times. Beyond these, there is no blame on them if they come in without permission. They are bound to move about, some of you attending others. Thus does God make clear to you the verses, and God is all knowing, all wise. And when the children among you have reached puberty, then let them ask you for permission, as those before them sought permission. Thus does God make clear to you His signs, and God is knowing, wise. And the older of women who do not hope for marriage, so there is no blame on them if they put off their clothes without displaying their adornment. And if they abstain, it is better for them, and God is all hearing, all knowing. There is no sin on the blind, nor on the lame, nor on the sick, nor on yourselves if you eat from your houses, or your father's houses, or your mother's houses, or your brother's houses, or your sister's houses, or your uncle's houses, or your paternal aunt's houses, or your maternal uncle's houses, or your maternal aunt's houses, or what you possess the keys of, or your friend that is not. It is a sin for you to eat altogether or fragments. So when you enter houses, greet yourselves with a greeting from God, blessed and good. Thus does God make clear to you the verses that you may understand. The believers are only those who believe in God and the messenger, and if they are with Him on a collective matter, they do not go away until they have His permission. Indeed, those who seek your permission are those who believe in God and His messenger. So if they ask your permission for some of their affairs, then give permission to whomever of them you wish and seek forgiveness for them from God. Indeed, God is forgiving, merciful. Do not make the summons of the messenger same as the summons of one another. God knows those among you who slip away. So let those who disobey His order beware lest a trial befall them or a painful chastisement befall them. Indeed, to God belongs whatever is in the heavens and the earth. He may know what you are upon, and on the day when they return to Him, He will inform them of what they have done, and God is all knowing.